Her visit comes at a particularly tense time for the two countries as China plans to ramp up its military budget to $132 billion. Anand Naidoo is with Dean Cheng. He's a research fellow at the Heritage Foundation covering Chinese political and security affairs.
Let me start with the defense budget announced by China. Just over a 12% increase. The New York Times, in an editorial this week, says the increase is causing new anxieties in Asia, the words of the New York Times. Why are there these concerns?
Well, what we are seeing is a nearly 20-year-long trend of double-digit increases in China's defense budget, occurring at the same time that we are also seeing a lot of growing friction throughout the region. China, Japan, of course, over the Diaoyu Islands, China and the South China Sea with the various claimants. There is the Chinese discomfort with the American presence. All of this adds up to a situation where it's not simply increased defense spending, but increased defense spending in a time of growing tension.
So when we look at the increase in Chinese expenditure and we look at it from Washington's point of view, is it likely that this kind of increase will ratchet up tensions even further?
I think in and of itself, China's increase in spending does not have to cause tensions and problems. China is the #2 economy in the world. There is a recognition that when you're the #2 economy, when you have trade relations with the entire planet, you have the right to a military capability to defend those interests. The problem is that China's choice of systems, what it is choosing to buy, is too often apparently aimed directly at the United States, not simply at self-defense, but fending off, keeping the United States far away from Asia writ large.
And just to put this in perspective, the United States military wants to have a reach that extends to the whole world. China doesn't, does it?
At this point in time, China is very much still regionally focused. Its military has participated in some global events, the anti-piracy patrol, along with US, European, and other countries, for example, off the Gulf of Aden. But the vast bulk of China's military is focused on contingencies immediately off its shores, within what's sometimes termed the first island chain, along the border with India, Central Asia, and Russia, whereas the US does indeed have a much more global reach.
Right. Given this increase that's been announced by China, do you think there will be pressure here in the United States to increase its budget?
The key point from the American perspective is the world is not stable, and that the United States, if it is going to cut back, is going to increase its risks significantly. And balancing that choice of risks versus increased spending, which has its own opportunity costs, is the hard part confronting Washington right now.
Dean, thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you for having me.